Beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. My name is Milton. On this YouTube channel, I do share study abroad tips, traveling abroad, everything about Canada, US, Australia, Europe, the entire Europe, and even some countries outside of Europe. So if you like my content, please share this video after watching till the end because I'm going to explain a lot of things to you so you put into consideration. Today's video, I want to talk about 3 updates and 2 videos will be dropping. This is the first one and another one will follow very soon. If you want to travel abroad, I'm telling you now without blinking that stay glued and always watch videos from this channel because if you watch and share, it's going to help another person. Okay, first of all, if you like this video, YouTube is going to tell your neighbor that this is a video for you to travel abroad. So please like the video now. Thank you so much. So I have not posted videos. If you check, you've seen that my consistency skipped for 2 days. I lost my device and I was struggling to get another one, but right now we are back again. So today I want to talk about 3 updates you should take note of in Europe. I'm going to be talking about starting with the very first one, which is the Finland update. Okay, so if you didn't know, I talked about application in Finland some time ago, and I said to study in Finland, you need to apply around January. That is usually the general intake, or let me say the general admissions period, which is January. That was the time most admissions, or that's the time universities admissions in Finland, that's the joint application, because you can apply for a group of universities like using the joint application and you can apply for separate application. Okay, so the joint application was usually like January, but right now as I speak it is going to be starting September, and this is not for everybody. This is only for those who want to study bachelor's degree programs. Okay, remember I said this is an update, and the next thing I want you to pay attention to when you are applying as a bachelor's degree student to go and study in Finland is that Finland is a country which is somehow affordable. Proof of funds is like 6,720 euros, which is like 4.6 million CFA francs, and probably around 5 point something for Nigerian naira. Guys, if you are in Nigeria, know that anything you are going to be doing now with proof of funds has to be doubled or almost the same amount, or maybe in more. That's more. You are going to be getting more because the bank rate or the banking system is somehow doing something which I cannot explain. But if you have more money, you can migrate abroad. Let nobody deceive you that abroad is like this these days. No, if you have the means, you have the money, migrate. It's better to suffer abroad than to suffer in Africa. Secondly, understand that when you are applying for this joint application, which is September application for international students, and it's only for bachelor's degree students, seekers, you need to know that if you must apply and successfully gain admissions, you need IELTS, the general, not the general, but the academic version. You need to write IELTS, all right? And before you can be accepted, before your application can be accepted, you apply for the joint application. This is something you need to put into consideration. A lot of people don't know this. If you skip the IELTS level because it is stated that English language is compulsory, remember that's the first thing. English is compulsory. Secondly, you can choose up to at least 6 different universities and you apply to them. Okay, that's another update for this joint application. Remember now it's for bachelor students, which means that maybe January is for masters and PhD students. So you have to pick you have to try and pick at least 6 different universities. If you meet requirements, you are going to be admitted. Remember that when you get admissions, you have to pay a tuition deposit. Okay, you have to pay a tuition fee deposit, and if your school is charging maybe 7,000 euros per year, you have to pay this 7,000 euros. Okay, before you apply for the visa. Some will ask you to pay 50% of the amount. Some will ask you to pay maybe 2,500, 1,500, 3,000, depending on the school. So you have to always check the university site. If you have a problem, you ask through an email to them. They are going to respond to you. Now, another thing you should put into consideration is we have talked about the programs you are selecting. We have talked about the visa application. Remember, you can migrate to Finland with your spouse. So if you are applying for this, you should put into consideration that as soon as you get admissions, you can equally apply for visa and move with your spouse. It is important. Remember that not all schools in Finland have the same amount of tuition fee. So definitely you are going to add maybe more tuition fee. And remember, there are a lot of scholarships in Finland. I'm going to be talking about that as well in subsequent videos. Now, there is something you need to note here. When applying to Finland, remember, if you are using your family or maybe your wife, if you want to move with them, you have to legalize your birth certificate at the level of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is important. These are the updates, and there are other things that are coming up for Finland. Now, another update I want to give you is Norway. Norway is going to be starting its application very soon, and this is going to be for October. That is for next year intake, August intake of next year. So you can apply from this October, okay? Most schools will be opening around November, December, but application begins in October. I think Norwegian University of Life Sciences and Norwegian University of Science and Technology are going to be opening this October. Then some other schools will proceed to like November, December, January, and even late January of next year. So when applying, my focus is not even this timeline. My focus is the requirements. Check requirements very well. Some schools will ask you to go to some bodies to collect a copy of your transcript or results to prove that you actually finish your studies. You need to consider tuition fee. Not all universities charge the same. Some schools will charge you higher for the same programs, while others will charge you lower from the same program. But in all, always consider tuition fee because it is very, very important. It is part of your application process. They are going to ask you. Now, understand that when applying for schools in Norway, there is an introduction of tuition fee. If you didn't know, Norway has introduced tuition fee payment, which means that if you have an admissions now, you are going to be paying a tuition fee. Okay, this is very important and you need to put this into consideration. Those of you who want to study in Canada, guys, I would always say this. Proof of funds is very, very important. A lot of people lately have been getting visa rejections, and I understand that probably they do not know how to document proof of funds. Now, I even saw somebody this morning, somebody booked an appointment with me and said he was working with an agent, but he has realized that it's better for him to work alone. Then I asked, he said his problem is from proof of funds and letter of explanation, that he has already like maybe gotten his bank statement and now he is at the level of the letter of explanation. Now, guys, listen to me, please. Remember, I have always said that your proof of funds is not only the bank statement. Your proof of funds need to be accompanied by documents. If you show a bank statement, excellent, the money is in the account, good. But where is the money coming from? Are you the one who put the money inside? Is it from your parents? Where are documents to prove where the money is coming from? If it's from your parents or from you, how do they get it? Do they get a job? Do they have a business? How did they get that money? These are things you need to put into consideration. I have been explaining on YouTube, but it looks like everybody has not seen my video. A lot of people still haven't seen it, but it's fine. I understand. So the very first thing you should do for me now, if you are still watching, guys, please like the video so that YouTube will push it to other people to watch it, okay, and listen to me. Another thing I realize is a lot of people do not even know that their bank statement shouldn't come from microfinances or microfinance institution. Your bank statement must come only from a bank, and that is where a lot of people are getting rejections. Before you know now, your visa is rejected and you start blaming people and you forgot to know that you were the one, or you forget to remember that you contributed to it. Probably maybe you didn't know, or some people deliberately know this, but because they do not have access to bank accounts, they go about collecting statements from a cooperative union or maybe a financial institution or maybe a microfinance or something. This doesn't work. Only a bank statement is required and it must come from a bank. I hope this is settled now. Now, for those of you who have been asking me on how to migrate to the United States for free, there are a lot of scholarship opportunities out there now. I talked about Erasmus Mundus. I'm equally going to talk about how to secure programs, or let me say how to secure admissions in US universities, and of course equally secure funding opportunities. There are particular ways you need to go about this. The very first way is to write the supervisors directly. Go to the school website, check the department website, check the program website, and check the list of faculty supervisors or faculty officials. There you are going to find the supervisors, the directors, the researchers. Send emails to the researchers. Avoid repeating one email 2 times. Like, do not send the same email to 2 supervisors. These supervisors, they talk to each other. They collaborate together. If you send an email to a supervisor and he was interested in what, or he finds interest in you, maybe upon involving his colleague or her colleague, they will realize that you send the same emails to the 2 of them, and that will lead you to a lot of issues which you do not want to get involved in. Another thing you need to understand is that when you are applying to some of these schools in the US, remember there are requirements, remember there are deadlines, remember there are application fees. Make sure you meet the requirements, make sure you meet the deadline, and make sure you supply the application fee. There is a way you can even write supervisors and they will waive your application fee for you, but now it depends on what you say or what you are doing. So you need to put all this into consideration. There is a video I did about Europe where I said there is a school you can actually study in Europe, and this school, if you have just between 1 million to 3.5 million naira or CFA, you can actually apply to this country. This country have a lot of universities you can study in abroad. Example include the University of Purdue, University of Life Sciences. All right, there are a lot of them, and this country I'm talking about is Czech Republic. There are universities in this country where some programs even cost below 500 euros. Okay, so which means you are absolutely studying for free, and PhD in this country in most universities is free, which means that if you are studying the program, they pay everything for you. And again, remember that to migrate to this country, the embassy needs just 10 people every month for visa application. So put this into consideration, you brainstorm on it, then if you think it's a good decision, you take this advice. I'm going to be dropping videos very soon on Finland, Czech Republic, Norway, and Canada as well, and USA. Okay, so please stay tuned and keep watching.